Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Consistently Rolling Show. I am your girl, Consistence.
Sister, yo, this me and Lil. What's up, peoples? What's up? What we got
Hi, I
going
said,
on tonight?
guys, we promised that we would be here at 8 o'clock, and we are here in the building. And Lil, what we talking about today?
Oh, we got well. First, I need to make an announcement on the special guest. Right now is unable to be with us. There's some personal matters he needs to take care of, but he will be with us next week. And
We got a different one next week, though, I thought.
yeah, well, we have to schedule. We'll let you guys know. We have two guests now coming on. Very interesting topics on what was that you actually talking on today? Um,
One was about astrology and how it correlates with the Bible.
yes, astrology and how it
We
correlates
would
with the
have loved
Bible.
to get that guest on to close out Black History, but we'll do it next week.
Right,
Close
we're
out
going to
Black
do an
History Month.
extension of Black
Yes,
History Month. That's what we're
yes.
going to do. We're going to do the extension. But yes, so that's what we have here. And tonight, I guess since our guest tonight show, we're going to kind of roll the thing on twins. It is called the how do you pronounce it?
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger effect. And if you guys don't know what the doppelganger effect is, it's something that deals with twins. You ever walk down the street and meet your twin? No relation to them, no family relation, but you two look alike. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Credits go to Woodward TV, Jay Woodward. Big ups to you, my brother. And yeah, I'm gonna hit you up on some things too. What else we got here? We have the oh, I don't really like going into the politics, but we can talk a little bit about the war that's going on right now, and what our both our personal opinions about it. Me, I personally think it's another distraction, like COVID and everything else that came along that way and shut us down. I mean, what's next after the war? Martial law. We can talk a little bit about that. What's going on with the internet? With Facebook going to the Meta. We talk a little bit about that. The metaverse, if you guys don't know what that is, if you haven't heard about it, when you log into your Facebook or Instagram at the bottom of your screen, you see the word meta. That is this new virtual type thing that the powers to be that is running these medias and these apps are going to you know kind of ease us into the future with. And so that's my assistant in the background. Sorry, she's running around doing paperwork, getting things ready. Thank you very much. And everything. So yeah,
Maybe we'll have her on a little bit later too, because I wouldn't
yeah,
mind
I would
talking
love to
about
have her on parenting and maybe a little bit about religion because she knows a lot or someone knows about the religion on the Mennonite or Amish side. She's familiar with that. And I would like to know that one with her a little bit more. Their ways, their beliefs, and everything stuff. So we have it on maybe next week. Stuff like that. I have to, I have to negotiate. You know, something outside the means of the relationship. I don't know for all you guys sitting on it, please leave a comment. But how do you negotiate with your significant others outside of what you normally do? Like, I can't buy her roses to convince her to come on because I should buy her roses anyway. Or I can't take her on a luxurious trip because, well,
You should be doing
we
that
don't want
anyway.
to do it. Right. So, what can I do to my significant other to convince her to come on the show? It's like an even trade. I do something for her. She come on the show and talk about what we like to talk about. And I ran into a stomach ground. So, guys or girls, whoever, hit us up. Leave a message. There's a link below. Let me know what can I do to convince my lovely girlfriend to come on the show to talk about certain topics I like to talk about, and let me know because I have no idea. I mean, I could say bake a cake, but birthday come around, I should bake a cake anyway, or go buy one. I don't know. I mean, I can't take her out to the bar because, again, these are things I know we should do. So I know, and you're looking at me like
Let's get started
you might
with
you
the show.
BFFs. You should be texting me right now, like, boy, you
No,
should be doing
no,
this.
no,
But you know
no.
what? I know you. I know where it's going. You know what? And I'm gonna say this before we start. I ain't hungry. Anyway, go. So
I didn't say anything.
don't,
Anyway,
you don't have to.
anyway,
You,
let's
look,
get
we
on
was
with
up
this.
you don't have to speak. We have evolved to the next level. Okay, next level. Okay,
My
go.
hands are clean. Anyway, let's get started. So, and Lil asked me
Uh-huh.
to watch Mr. Woodward talk about the Doppler gang. In
Yeah.
case you guys didn't hear or don't know what the Doppler gang is, it is about people in this world who have a twin. If you've ever talked to anyone who's never met you, first time meeting you, the first thing they say is, "Hey, do you know? Are you related to? You look just like." And every so
Yeah.
often, a person is able to actually meet their twin. He was explaining that some people have he was saying something about there's like dating apps is not really a dating app, but it's a dating app for you to find your twin, and some people actually go out and hang out with their twins. Some people have like the celebrity lookalikes that would be considered the Doppler gang twin. So he was talking about different things, and that was kind of interesting. What did you find interesting about it?
I find interesting about it that it evolves also when it stars. You ever see things like Ellen DeGeneres, Nicolas Cage, where they have twins from way back in the times, like Western days, and even further back. That it, you know, does that play into the doppelganger effect? They're
I don't
twin,
know because then one would say that would be them reincarnated because there is a
right?
picture
Exactly.
out here in this world that
Right.
is Ellen DeGeneres all day long. But
Yeah.
this particular person is definitely a man. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then there would be, well, is that her reincarnated years before,
Right.
or
Right.
right? Is her Doppler twin, or is it someone that was related to her? Because it could actually be somebody from her history and her past.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I believe that too. Maybe 4 or 5 generations ago, there I had a great grandfather who probably looked exactly just like me, or a cousin or a relative back in the days, and here I am. If they took a picture then, and I took a picture now, like, oh my God, it looks just like you, and everything.
Mhm.
But I find that very interesting. And folks, if you have seen or ever met or someone told that I just saw somebody that looks like that. I had that done to me in Baltimore a lot. Somebody was telling me that there's a guy going around who looks exactly just like me. Walk like me, talk like me. I never found him. I never seen him. But everybody in my area was telling me all the time, there's a guy walking around looking just like you. I just saw him the other day. I thought it was you. I'm like, nope, wasn't me. And he knew it wasn't me because of the way he dressed. He dressed differently, but he looked complete. And I never ever found him or seen him. And in fact, any of my friends on Facebook, if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you ever see him again, hit me up. Y'all got my Facebook. Very, very, very interesting on that.
Yeah, that was interesting because it's, like I said, it's never not one moment that somebody you meet will exactly be like, "Hey, you
Yeah,
remind me of." It's always like that. It's never, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are you related to? No, I'm not. Don't even. And this happened to me here. And I'm not even from where I'm in the state of Michigan, so it's like I'm not from this state. I'm not related to nobody here. So
yeah,
it's just funny.
exactly, exactly. It's really funny. Again, we give our props up to Woodworth TV. You guys should subscribe to him on YouTube. Very good watch. He's a very good educator. Very good in his formats, and I just been following him for years. I really like him and stuff like that. So yeah. Um. So what's we want to top on today here?
Let's first say this. We want to send our condolences out to those that have lost people throughout this whatever war that we
Yeah.
are going through.
Russ. Yeah.
Um, while we feel that it is unnecessary for whatever reason that we choose to go to war,
Mhm.
we want to again send our condolences out to those people who are losing their lives and their family members' lives. Someone was just telling me today that they saw on the news that the jet just put a bomb down on a house and you can hear the baby crying, and it's like, well, it's lives there. Why
It,
why are we going through this?
Yeah, it takes me back. It takes me back to my saying when you and I talked off air personally, and I mentioned the word humans and intelligence. It is to me. This is not intelligence. This is not knowledge. This is not wisdom. We are prone to kill each other like that. We're just kill each other, and I'm gonna say most times for nothing. This war to me is for nothing. We got much land mass, much land mass. You can get land anywhere. Why are we fighting? It's the politics. It's the struggle for power.
But is
I
it
don't.
political though? Because listen,
It could be.
what? Because listen, check this out. Um, you know that this is a show that has a
Uh-huh.
broader perspective of things.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. We
and
go on left field. Yes.
while people who are into the Bible will actually legitly say these are the signs of times. This has been predicted in the Bible:
Right.
war, famine, this, that, different types of diseases, uncurable, and absolutely we are going through those things. If you actually are paying attention, we are
Yeah.
going through those things right now, and you can absolutely say, "Man, this is what the Bible was talking about."
Okay.
But then
Okay.
I
Okay.
go into the beginning of the Bible
Hmm.
and I see that God caused wars in the beginning. He got mad at things and demolished lands. Like
Yes. Yes.
what is this for? Like
Mhm.
you get what I'm saying? Because you can say again, like I said, from the Bible standpoint, you can say, okay, if you look at it from this perspective, like when Iraq and Iran was going through things, you would say this is a family history. This is a family fight, according to how the Bible is. But then you can also say, well, before that, Israelites were fighting for God. People like we not
Mhm.
understanding that Israelites were legitimately fighting for God. David
Mhm.
went to war for certain things that he felt like was in the name of God's honor. So, like, why are we really going through these war? Like, why are we choosing when the Bible legitimately says one of the rules or commandments that God says is "Thou shalt not kill," and we doing it
Right.
all the time.
How about this? Okay. So the times we're living in now, um, people of the Bible are saying, yes, like you said, this is the end time. This is what's in the scripture, so forth, so forth. So let's go back a few years. Okay. How about the time during the Great Depression or the time of the Great Holocaust? Were the people saying the exact same thing then? What they're saying now? Maybe
I would
then
believe
during
so because
yeah.
to me,
So
history repeats itself. And
okay.
for me, I
Mhm.
would say that at that time that they were writing that, there was something that they was predicting that was happening in their near future.
Mhm. So yeah. But again, the Holocaust and World War II and everything, you know, barely over 100 years ago. Okay, and at that time, during during the Great Depression, my grandmother was a child during the Great Depression. She told us stories about the Great Depression, how she would work in the fields and they would take out potatoes out of the ground, kind of eat them raw because they couldn't go to the market. There was no food. It was starvation. People were like literally starving to death on the streets. It was a hard time. And I remember my grandma said that was the worst thing she's ever spent in life. She was waiting for Jesus to come walking down the street. So they were conversing to the Bible at that time, the way we are now conversing the Bible during these times. These times compared to this and now, these times are not that bad compared to then. Because during that time, there was no media aids and helps and hospital technology, shelters and storage bins and survival gears and camp. This is nothing compared to what they went through. So when it comes to trying to match up the times with the Bible, it doesn't happen in our short little span between my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother. That happened. So that's 3 times already that we have seen something that comes from the Bible. But when is that time going to be that time? When is the end time? Because it wasn't
But
the
see,
end time for them.
but then I'll go to say that according to the Bible, no one knows that. You know what I'm saying? Not
Right.
even Jesus himself. The only person who knows that is God the Father. But what all I'm saying is at this point we are we are in World War
Mhm.
Three. Let's
Yeah,
just say
yeah.
that.
I do agree that
This is
we
World War
are
Three.
we
We
are in the
have
time.
if people that are really paying attention, we have no food on the shelves, barely any
Yep.
food on these shelves. You know what I'm saying? And we're fighting. coronavirus. It's a different variant every week. You can't keep up.
Yeah.
So if you are a person who is a biblical background and you go strictly by the Bible, you would absolutely say, hey, these are the ends of times. It is this, and this. It's
Yeah.
only like this and this left to do before Jesus
Right.
comes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
We had a conversation today about how it meets up, which I'm not going to get into that right now, but of course,
Mhm.
how it meets up and how it links up, there definitely is something happening.
Oh yeah.
But
No doubt
is
about
it
that.
is it what we think it is? You get what I'm saying? Like, is it what we think it is?
You know,
But
Adolf
we'll touch
Hitler.
that more next week because that is, yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
be good.
Adolf Hitler. Before he um um disappeared, before he disappeared, he told one of his generals, um, during as we were conquering and taking over, as we were winning the war, and he knew he was losing. He told his general that, I am going to start World War III even after I'm long dead, long gone and dead. And the general says to Fear, how would you start World War III after you die? He said, because when the world finds out what America has done, World War III will start. And I've dug deep in trying to figure out what has America done, which by the way is the greatest country in the world. But what has America has done that would have Hitler say that, quote unquote, on his deathbed, almost his last words. And when we because I'm following this whole war thing, and when we see things like, you know, Russia saying, stay out of this, you know, mind your business. We got this over here. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, but stay out of this. You know.
But then we
And
got a president that wants to stick his nose in it all.
yeah, yeah, I know. And that's what's this is what's gonna get us was get it. But I just want to know what the big secret. What do we have that the world, you know, is holding against us? You know, I could speculate, but they got something to hold against us. If you ever talk to other people outside the country, they always say they don't like Americans. They don't like America. Why? What do we do? I'm just saying.
I know one thing that we do. They give us the illusion that we are free and we not, and we think like all these other countries of what we know of, not what they tell, not what we know firsthand, but the things that we tell us is like that they're so bad and they're not free.
Yeah.
We have the illusion of freedom. We're not free. That's all. That's the only
Uh, we're
difference.
we're living in a corporation. Is what this is. This is a corporation. America is a corporation. That's what it is. So we all need Social Security cards and driver's license. You can't do anything without a Social Security card and driver's license. You know, nothing. You know, unless you're part of the elite. None of us are. No, none of us are. But yeah, I just find that very, interesting. You know, that talk. Yeah, we're going to talk about some things next week too about, um, God, is God real? We did touch on that and everything, which is very interesting because this supposed to be the topic tonight. Is God real? You know, and and like you just quoted some stuff off the Bible when some people did something for in the name of God, and I had to ask. Not saying if they didn't do it for a God. My question would be, what God they did it for? Because there were many, many gods.
Now, and you were talking about that, right?
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah,
And wow, a lot of things. Like I told you, I'm trying to get my own understanding, not really understanding because it's
right,
different.
right.
Um, I feel like just like you say, you talk to God all the time, but you feel like He doesn't. I feel like somebody talks back to us, whether it's the guardian
I
angels or
agree. The angels,
somebody
yeah,
talks back to us. And because
we're
I
assigned
can
to guard.
I mean me and you me and you talk about pretty much a lot of different
Yeah,
things.
hmm
And I can recall telling you things like, man, I was complaining and this, that, and the third, and I had to think about it. And it's like, why am I that's something that's a thought that something or someone gave me. And that I feel like was God. Like, wait a minute, check this out. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I don't know.
But when the people ask me, you know, um, do I believe in God? I said, my answer is yes, always yes, regardless of where I don't um go into the whole thing with Jesus and the whole thing with any other or even so much as even going to the Bible too much. I try to stay away from those things. But when if you ask me, am I an atheist? No, I do pray. I pray every day. I pray for my kids. I pray for my family. If someone's sick, no, God bless you. I do. But when I say God, I'm speaking of the God of everything, God of the universe. The God is with me. So no, I do not go to church, and I don't believe in churches. Neither did Jesus believe in churches. Jesus believed in giving his sermons outside the church. In fact, Jesus didn't want nobody to go to church, But here we are.
Said that.
It. I was sending you the stuff, and some of it didn't. I'm not going to talk to you. I was that's actually you're paying anyway. But Jesus. Did Jesus wanted us to go to church?
Who said that?
You mean who says that? You mean who
Like,
says
where
that?
did you get that from?
Well, off the webpage, the Bible.
Off the
You never
Bible.
all this stuff. Yes, all the stuff we read.
Jesus said, don't go to church.
Right. Where did she said who we get it from? Yeah. So no, it's in the Bible.
Jesus said, don't go to church.
He did not want us to go to church. He believed that we should pray. When he held all his servants, he was outside. This way one.
Okay. Now, I do know that Jesus did a lot of teaching, because I wouldn't call him a preacher
Outside
at
the church.
all.
Right.
Jesus did a lot of teaching outside of church. He went to where the people were. That is
Right.
somewhat
Right.
of a missionary, okay?
Yeah.
That is a mission. But to say that Jesus said don't go to church, I don't think
Yeah.
that's in the
Yeah.
Bible.
I will find it for you and I will send it to you.
I do believe that he went to church and they were doing things that they weren't supposed to do in his father's house, is what he was talking about.
Where's that came from? Out the
Hmm?
Bible? That was in the Bible too?
Yeah, he got upset because they were doing gambling and selling things in the church. And he
Uh-huh.
tossed the tables. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing correct
I
things
never
in
read
his
that.
father's house. Because honestly, like me and you discussed, church is somewhat of a hospital for a spiritual soul.
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? Once you get
Right.
healed and once you get together, maybe you don't need to go every week.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
you can go somewhere else and be of service like Jesus did outside of church. But I don't think he said don't go to church.
Right.
That, and if anybody wants to weigh in on that, you
Yeah,
guys
Kayla's just weighing in on
comment
right now. We
here
we
right
uh
here.
we as
If you want
believers,
to join us in
we
the
are
in the
the church.
line, you can.
Yeah, Kayla's on right now. She said that we as believers, we are the church, which I agree because God is with
Okay.
exactly. But
Okay.
I remember reading the scripture where Jesus did not want us to be a church. He wanted us to get the teachings outside the church. And I can't remember what it was, but I know I read.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but you gotta realize this part though, that you're not understanding, because at one point in time, each and every one of us, including you, have been to church. So you
yeah,
gotta
I
look
was
at it
born and
like,
raised in the church.
you
Right.
have to look at it. You do definitely have to look at it like, okay, look at it like this. Church is a school. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta learn the basics. And once
Yeah.
we learn the basics, then we can move on to different and other things. Like, you get
Back
what
in
I'm
my
saying? If
day.
I didn't, like me, when we first started this, if I didn't have that basic, I wouldn't be able to go outside the spectrum and be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, so you got to get that base first.
That is
But
true
I
because
don't
I
think
always
he
me
said
where
don't
who I
go to
am
church.
now. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you fine.
Where I got now. I started off in church. My mom was Christian. I was born and raised in a Christian family, and excuse me for a minute. My secretary. Exodus 28-10. That was why the Lord has blessed the Sabbath day and made the holy. Comment this on but that's going to. Oh, okay. Here we go. Commandment doesn't say anything about going to church. It's simply set aside one day of the week for the day of the. So it's like the Sabbath day of rest. Okay.
Right, we know about that, but that was something that God made holy.
Okay. Right. Exactly. Thank you. But anyway, yes. So my thing is that when it comes to God, I do pray. I do believe that there's a lot more to our soul and our spirit than what we know or be allowed to know. So because I asked, what was that other thing I meant to talk to you about today? Still with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, so that's another topic. What else we want to talk about? It was something else I want to talk about. Moonfall. I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it yet.
Screw Moonfall then. Okay, we'll come back to Moonfall later. Although there's some other movies I want to see that's supposed to be coming out and everything. Um, but next week we want try to get one or two of our guests on here. Um, I have a guest who does not believe in pretty much anything. I question do we
And
believe in
we'll scare them off, you guys.
death? Do we believe in death? So and I asked the question: were we dead before we were born? Before we were born, are we a self-aware, conscious being?
Well, what do you believe?
I would like to believe that me being here, I'm an extension from somewhere else. Yes, I believe that I was a conscious, or maybe I existed, but I was not self-aware until I was brought here. Maybe
Okay.
once I came
So,
here and was birthed here, I became self-aware because we're in these bodies, and I am aware of my surroundings and you, everything, all of. And then once I die, I no longer self-aware, but I kind of contradict myself because with all the knowledge that we all gain by living this experience, where does all that knowledge go? Does it go back to non-existence? Does it just stop existing? Does it go to the Akashic records? You know, and I want to get on a one-on-one conversation with him about that because we went on into it briefly today, and
and I know you're watching, so I'm going to let you know where my perspective is so that when you get on here, you won't feel intimidated
mhm,
because it's not like that. We are open to everything. So, originally, before I got on this journey, it wasn't a thought, to be honest. It never was a thought for me of
right.
if we existed before. But I always knew, again, from my background, that after we go on, as we would call it, we were just sleep. Okay.
Mhm,
And that was
mhm,
according to how I was taught and raised. And the Bible says that, or in the Bible, it says that the dead know nothing. So to me, how I was raised, I didn't think of anything before we exist. The only thing that I knew about it was I knew you before you knew you existed.
mhm, mhm.
Man, you had this conversation later on,
Yeah,
and it was, well, I didn't know or realize I even existed this earth till I was about 5 years old. I may got a couple of things before that, but
yeah,
now I am more so on I had to be something because the way that even the Bible says of things, we were all a part of everything. So
yeah.
we've
I
all
believe.
been a part. It's a revolving
Yeah,
cycle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do believe that. I do believe that we were all a part of something. And I went through this with you earlier before. I believe in the beginning, when the universe was created by God, I believe God spoke, but it wasn't like a literal word. It was more of a frequency. Because I look at it from a scientific side. Everything is vibrating. Everything's energy, frequencies, and vibration. These three things, energy, frequency, and vibration, makes up everything we ever know and do. Communications, eating food, whatever. It all involves um, those three keys, energy, free. And if you were to study those three keys, energy, frequencies, and vibrations, you can. This is what these scientists are doing. This is what the Vatican is doing. So,
And that's cool.
yeah,
But for us, for those that are blind, well, I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
say
yeah,
blind, but for those who aren't going into it in that aspect, we
yeah,
look at it like God is, so that's why I am. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
we don't. It's just not a
There's
question,
nothing wrong with that too. There's nothing wrong.
right?
There's nothing wrong with anybody who believe or don't believe with God. In God. No, nothing wrong with the person, nothing wrong because in the end, That's their free will. That's their choice. It was given to us to make decisions, and whether we agree with it or not, we were giving that ability to make the choice. If God did not want us to to make these choices and only believe in God, then God would have deleted that program out of us. We wouldn't have that choice. We would just believe,
Mhm.
without that. And I mean, everybody equally across the
I
spectrum.
mean, we gotta know that something exists because it's in our, it's embedded in us. I just
The
like think about it.
instinct.
I am
Yeah.
here. Everybody, I don't care who you are. You have to be like, I have some kind of purpose here. It's like
Yeah.
it's in you to. It's just in you. So because it's in you, you may not believe in a particular person or thing, but if you even believe in yourself, you know that something exists outside of you.
Yes, yeah. I feel like my purpose in life is to discover the things that I normally would not think to that exists, and to discover it. To and as well as myself, to be a better person than I was yesterday. Because meaning that I will learn something new. I won't just settle for what I know. But I will just always keep pushing forward. So I question everything. And this is why I keep pushing forward, because I know that life is a lot bigger, as big as the universe itself. The universe is humongous, you know. So and I think that, while I'm here on this very short time period that I'm on Earth, I will keep going forward, keep pushing forward, and keep discovering and questioning. Let's see here. Bible does say there is a war. There is a way that seems right, but in the end leads to the destruction. Okay. Yeah, that was Kayla again. Can you see her comments?
Keela, Keela,
Kayla,
yeah.
Kayla. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you for
Kayla.
joining. It's
Yeah, thank you
okay.
for joining. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. I don't want to be the bad guy here. Well, you know
You
what?
so good. You
You
are
know,
the bad guy
I am
here.
the
What
bad
are you
guy. That's right.
talking about?
You fall of the humans. The, but yeah. So
I mean, I get that.
yeah,
I say that to say we think things that make us comfortable, but that doesn't make it truth. That's exactly right. And that's why we have this podcast right now, because
this
there
one.
is
Yeah.
so much information. And
Yes.
we as a people, like,
Uh
one
huh.
thing for sure that we do know, it says that when one or more are gathered, that's where he is in the midst. Personally, for me, I feel like that is the spirit. And that's how we get our information. We feed off of each other. You may have more
Yeah.
information than I do. And then also vice versa. And then bringing it together, it brings it to a perspective. Because what does the Bible say? Due to the lack of knowledge, my people will perish. And if we are teaching each other, that information keeps going on generations after generations. So
Yeah. Exactly. You know what else keeps a lot of people for doing this and speaking out like this is fear of ridicule and anger. Because um, my friend, the guest is going to be on soon, he said to me, I love to come out and speak. He loved to speak like this, but he give his opinion, like we all give our opinion. And wait on it. He said, but don't kill me for it. Don't kill me for my opinion. So when he said that, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, so if we can get a table and say, okay, you say, I believe in God and Jesus is his son, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't believe that. And we talk about it.
mhm.
But you don't say, how dare you say that? You know what? I bet y'all just kill you,
But
and
I
quit.
used to be like that with you.
I,
So
oh, I know.
it does
Look,
require a open mind. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
People,
Because yeah, even though I may believe in God and Jesus being his
right.
son or whatever the case may be, that doesn't deny the fact that you may have information that I may learn from you. So that's the difference.
Exactly. Okay. That's how I told him. I said, this is the type of person, for all my listeners, this is how the type of person I am. I would bring something to the table that is my personal truth, my truth, personal truth. That doesn't mean it's the objective truth. It's the personal truth. That means I can be wrong. Okay. So when I bring something to the table, this is why me and you get along so well. I bring something to the table and I put it out there. I'm expecting somebody to say, well, okay, I see your point, but you're not quite right. Or no, you're wrong. This is what I get. Because if I come to the table and present something, you correct it or put more to it, I walk away from the table with something. I don't walk away as a loser. I gained more walking away from the table than I did when I came to the table. Because I come to you, I come to her, come to everybody. We get up, like, I'm like, God is just an energy. You say, well, no, well, blah, 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 blah. Then this person go, no, blah, blah, blah. And we put it together and go, wow, I got something more now. And I can walk away and I can teach somebody else and go through the process again. But if I come to you and say, I don't believe in God, you're like, well, yeah, that's your opinion, and you kind of blow it off, then I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to
You
have this.
got those people who don't want to get in,
Yeah, I know. Because I
like
don't
he
want that challenge.
feels they don't want to get into that type of debate or anything. But no, there is no judgment here, and that's the thing about
Right.
it. There
I
is
want,
absolutely, because there's, like I said, there is so much information and we have this much brain, and to the and since we want to go there, we got so much DNA that's not even being, we don't even know what it's for. You get what I'm saying? So to
junk
not know
DNA.
what the right, so to not know what the DNA is for, who am I to say that your information is, you get what I'm saying? I can't.
Right.
That's
Right.
yeah, that's not. Yeah, and
Exactly. Exactly.
these conversations are healthy, Keela. It is
Yes, they
needed
are.
because we got these small-minded people, and not saying it like that. I'm saying it like this. When slavery, or when people in slavery was presented Jesus and God, you got to think about it. At that time, they needed a savior or
Yes, they did.
someone to hope for. You get what I'm saying? They needed someone to bring them out of that situation. And
Right.
not saying that it is not helpful for those who believe in it the way that they believe in it now. But oh, my kids are growing up. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know what the future is. To me, I see it getting worse. It
Yeah.
may be a different from them. And the kids that are growing up now have a different perspective on things. And if we can't meet them where they're at, think about it. When we were growing up, we got shut down for the things that
Yeah.
we of our opinion. Kids were to be seen and not heard. But if you actually sit and listen to them now, they're
Yes.
very intelligent.
Yes.
Very. And it's like, where are you getting this information from? So we definitely need to open up our, not just our minds, but our hearts as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Anything. And I also want to get on a topic with do you believe in aliens? So Keela, do you believe in aliens? Put your comment in. You tell us about aliens and what is your side on and we didn't have her on the show one time, because she seems
Okay.
very, down to
Anybody who wants
right,
to
come on
come,
the show. We need some more faces up here and everything,
the link is here. The link is
Right.
here if you want to join.
Yes, definitely. And tell me, do we believe in aliens? Because I have my say, again. So when I was a young man, me and the gentleman's going to be on the show witnessed a what we call a UFO sitting in Baltimore City in the back alley, and we saw an aircraft or craft do something that we were not too familiar with at the time on they can do aviation. We weren't very educated on aviation, but as time going, I got to learn about the alien things. Same way about religion, I had questions about the whole alien theory. Do they exist and everything like that? And it begs the question. You would think that a race of beings that would traverse through the universe millions and millions of light years across and come here just to hide from us. Instead of just landing in the middle of the street and go, "Hey, we here." You know. Um, so I mean, like,
The
what?
question is this, right? That
Mm-hmm.
the question is not, do we believe in aliens, because we know that there's something out there. Everybody
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Whether
We
you
all can
feel
look up
like
and
they gray men or whatever the case may be. The
right.
question is, why are we not privy to be in commune with them?
Exactly.
That's the
That,
question.
that's the question. That's the $1 billion question. Why
A
are we?
lot of people would say that it has to do with sin. And it's like, okay,
What sin?
but
What is the sin? What sin? What? I can't think of on. I can think of things we can get from them, which is knowledge, because they know more. Kayla asks, "How did she join?" Hit the link there, and you'll be able to join. But yeah, I think we would gain knowledge from them. And all right, baby. Well, we gain knowledge from them, but
but
unless
what kind of knowledge? Because let's be honest. Okay, they
we can tell you
say,
some knowledge. Okay, go ahead.
okay,
Go ahead.
they say, right. Let's just start with the Bible. They
Okay.
say that the devil was
Hmm.
there in the beginning, right?
Okay.
He was there in the very beginning.
Okay.
And he can use even the Bible because he knows it backwards and forwards. He
Yeah.
can use that even to manipulate us. All
Right.
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 So if we talking about what kind of knowledge, I mean, when we say they can give us knowledge, what kind of knowledge? What are you know what I'm saying? Like
Um.
exactly what are we missing? Like why the question would be why are we here? Like we're told that we were created to replenish what was misplaced or fell out of heaven. Well, God could have made that 10 times over, and yet we're still here.
At the twinkle of his eye, right? Again, what God? I asked that question. What God are they talking about? Because the God that you and I are referencing to can do it's done. It just won't even take a snap. It would just be done. Whatever, whatever the alpha, the omega deems fit for us, it would just you won't even know it's been done. You won't even have knowledge.
Somebody sent something to me that said, Earth is a soul's prison in a physical form.
Okay, I heard that before. And that falls right around the realms of the Anunnaki because yes, um, it is written that and written in detail on how they develop humans through a laboratory and years of development. And we weren't developing laboratory. We're the descendants of the ones who were developed in the laboratory. Let's get that correct. The humans are descended. The humans today are descendants of the humans that were developed in the laboratory by the Anunnakis. So the humans that were developed in the laboratory were much taller, way taller, because the Anunnakis are tall beings. Okay, so um, now where did they get on? How did they house the soul into these bodies? Well, that's another question because it's almost falls in the realm of when we make these bodies and put AI in them. You know, when AI comes self-aware, then AI will have the same questions I have as I'm sitting here right now. Where did the soul come from? How did I came to be with this knowledge and wealth? And who will AI's God would be? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. It's just a lot of questions. You taking a break?
No, I'm sending her the link. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sending her the link. I sent you the
No.
link. But yeah, like that
But
is a good man.
so there's this thing. So I believe here's my thing. If I was an alien of an alien race and I'm flying across the universe and I look down at this planet and I observe the observance on said planet, my first comment to my comrades would be, well, there's no intelligent life down there. Let's go. Let's keep on going. I would I would not stop and waste my time here unless I want the resources. And if I want the resources, everything that's on that planet would be wiped out. Someone want to have the hassle because you're animals. Because we as humans,
Somebody saw something in us. Cause let's be really honest. There is
yeah,
so many different stories
his
to
name was Inky.
what is it? Not the revolution, but the evolution of
Evolution. Yeah,
humans.
his name was Inky. Inky loved the humans. Inky's loved the humans. He educated humans on
I
jewelry,
wish I
clothing.
went back to
Yeah,
different and say that that was Jesus.
it could be. And Lil was Satan or Set or Ogo or whatever you want to call it. Because
But
ancient
then in my Bible, it would say that the devil wasn't even a part of that. What made him jealous was the fact that Jesus and God was having these conversations and he wasn't even involved in it.
right.
But for me, it's like, why would I have any kind of um how can I put this? Why would I have that's like my boss having a managerial meeting and I'm not a manager.
Right, right. But see, that's the thing though. The difference between us and them being spiritual beings. I would not think. See, we have a habit of putting human emotions on things that it's not humans, like humans with dogs. You have humans talking to dogs as if they're gonna go, "Oh, okay, I won't pee on the floor no more." They don't have no human emotion. They don't. The smartest chimp on this planet that can sign language, two languages, can put square blocks in square holes and open up an umbrella if it rains, cannot write a checkbook or drive a car. That chimp goes in the cage at nighttime when we go to bed. We have a bad habit of putting human emotions on things that's not supposed to have human emotions.
If you wanna go into the way of how we were to come to be, you would say that these animals could possibly have human intelligence because we came from an animal.
Well, yeah, because there's a
You
one
see, you
percent
get what
difference
I'm
between
saying?
yeah, there's a 1% difference between us and chimps. There's a 1% difference between us and the average chimp. 1% difference in that DNA, right? But but that 1% accounts for us building a car and driving it, and a chimp only knows how to open up a banana and throw his own feces. That's the difference between that 1% difference. And right on the evolution, when we get here, it's still we are at the level where we can we have to determine what is what. Like the truth is so unbelievable that you have no choice but to believe in a lie. Okay, so when these
But the
gods,
problem is there is so many lies. Like even when we
it's
went to
so many gods.
the
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys saw this one, but even when we went into or tried to get into Devil and Lucifer, you know what I'm saying? Like
Are they two people in one
originally,
person? Right.
right,
Right.
right.
Exactly. It's the devil and Lucifer, the same person, same deities. It's Satan and the devil is the same thing. Because keep in mind that the devil or Satan had many names throughout different um parts of humans' generation. He was once called by the Dogon tribe. They called him Oga. They called him Ogo. Set was called by they called him Set by the Egyptians, called Satan or the devil Set. And then the different so and then go further back, we got Inky and Lil, two brothers. These two brothers were very powerful. They left and they came back. One saved the humans, one wanted to literally wipe out the humans, wipe them all off the planet. They got into a battle over us, and Lil fell to earth. He shot him down. He had a big fight. In the story, go to what's other person's name? Billy Carson told a story where these two brothers got into a fight, a big battle, Incan and Lil, in front of everybody, the world, watching the two battle because
That would be
he
the
wanted.
war in heaven. Okay.
Yes, yes. And what he did to his brother was unspeakable. After he beat him up, he I don't want to say what he did to his brother. He did something that would take his pride away. Then imprisoned him and sent him to Mars, where he was
Okay,
imprisoned.
so I've heard that story and all of that stuff,
Yeah,
and there is a imprint of his face right there on Mars. That thing that
yeah.
we see.
Because when
So
they sent him, they sent everybody who followed him to that planet. They sent them all there. This is why when you look at the rover pictures at NASA, and millions of pictures come from the rover off the planet of Mars. It comes down, and we have the opportunity to peep at these pictures. And you see statues, monuments, forests, running water, but NASA tell you that there's no life there. Well, it never was like that. But if you look at Mars, that planet has a deep cut in it that was only done by a weapon, not by a meteor or natural causes. Not like that. But the truth is so unbelievable, you know, you have to believe the lie.
I mean, that's just like the Bible will tell us that the sons of God went into the women of men, but then we'll say, oh, that was the fallen angels. But no, that wasn't angels at all. Like, what do you mean? It's clearly in the Bible where God said that the sons of God was praising when he was making the earth or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, and the angels were singing. That's two different things. And then he also says, like, I ain't never called no angel my children. But then we'll go
Right.
say that Jesus is the only son of God, and that's not the case because he imprisoned his own children.
Exactly.
And then you know what I'm saying, but then we don't believe these things. Like let's just be honest, we don't believe these things. But then we have things like Zeus,
Mm-hmm.
who slept with plenty of human women, and we
Yeah.
know one of his children were Hercules. That
Mm-hmm.
he was a god,
Yeah. It
and
was
he
a god.
also got wiped of his throne.
Mm-hmm.
So are we saying like, come on, these stories didn't just come up from nowhere. They mean
Right.
something. But then again, like the thing about it is this information is becoming misplaced.
Yeah.
That's where we get misinformation from.
Yeah.
We got to think about it. Wow, the Bible only tells us so much information in this one little
Mhm.
book, and it's chopped down and it's cut and sliced and diced and pulled and put in.
Yes.
So it's a mixture of a bunch of different stories. Let's be honest. But we got, according to the Bible, they think that it's actually thousands of years, maybe 10, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
But according to scientific fact, which I feel like scientists are anything but the evidence catching up to what God has already done.
Mhm.
That's my personal belief. Because
Okay.
eventually, eventually, a scientist has to catch up to what was already done. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
according to scientists, this Earth has been around for over 4 million years. So you're talking
Yeah.
about 4 million years worth of information. And we have this one Bible that we're just going to go by that has been sliced, diced, has been transcribed several times, several many different ways, translated and everything else. And they are telling stories. They are absolutely telling some
Yeah.
true stories, but that this could come from 3 million years ago. This could be from 10. Like it's just
Yeah.
everywhere. Because
Well, the
believe it or
dinosaurs.
not, in that, huh?
Yeah. Dinosaurs. The dinosaurs existed 65 million years ago when they were wiped off the planet. 65 million years ago. The Bible's 200,000 years old. Like 200,000
The
and
Bible is
65
not two hundred
million.
thousand years old.
Yeah. And what happened between what happened between 65 million years and 200,000 years? What happened between all that time? Was it just nothing? But I believe that there's a lot more to this. It's a lot more to this. I think we're all
Of
on the
course,
right
and the
path.
ones who hold the king. So it says that the Bible itself is over. They trying to say 34,000 years. Like there's no way, because from
34,000 years.
Adam, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying people really believe. I'm telling you, people really believe that we've only been on this planet a little bit over maybe 10,000 years. And I'm
10,000
trying
years.
to explain to certain people like there is absolutely no way. You mean
Wow.
to tell me that the day Adam was was birthed or was created, you mean to tell me that same day he he sinned? Like that doesn't even make any sense to me. It was
Right.
900 and something years before the man died.
Right. Exactly. 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 And they all lived. All of them lived for a very long time. Moses lived for hundreds of years. All of them lived, and they were very tall, tall individuals. All of them were very tall, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet tall. I mean, very tall individuals. So it tells me that they are someone from a whole different genetic pool other than us. We're small. We're very small people, all of us. It's very rare to see a tall human, Shaq or any basketball players, their height and everything. But yeah, it's interesting, and more interesting times are coming. Um, how much more time we have?
Hey,
There
Keelan,
we
thanks
go.
for joining us.
I was just about to
Hi.
pull you up. Oh, oh,
Can't hear you.
no audio.
Hey y'all, how y'all
I can
doing?
hear you. Okay,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Doing good. All
Loving
right.
the conversation.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna say about aliens. I used to watch all the X-File documentaries and all of that. So I do believe that there is a type of alien because the alien just means something foreign.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
believe it is something foreign out there besides us, but I believe that it's more of a demonic spirit.
Okay.
And you can understand what he's saying about the very tall people
Yes. Yes.
or alien figures or whatever it is, because there's a pastor by the name of Stephen Darby, and he
Mm-hmm.
did a sermon on CERN. You familiar with CERN?
So, yep. It's
And
with
they're
them.
playing with a lot of spiritual stuff.
Yes, they
With
are.
outer space, underground, all of this stuff, and they're opening up portals and things of that sort. And what he referenced was Genesis, and he referenced when God flooded the earth, you know,
Right.
Noah's Ark and all of that stuff. And I'm not sure how true it is, because I do need to do maybe a little more, you know, study on that subject. But it made sense of what he was saying, that these beings, which were called the Nephilim spirits, they were really
Yes.
tall.
Yes, they
So
were.
the Nephilim, they made it with humans
Mm-hmm.
and created this type of species
Yeah.
that I think is what really aliens really are.
So the Nephilims are considered the giants, right? They
Yes.
are the
That's what he.
creation of the sons of God
Mhm.
and the human women.
Right.
So that's what made them. We humans were actually even tall ourselves.
Mhm.
So when the sons of God actually made it with these humans, it made them even taller. So
Mhm.
that's why. So they were
Yeah.
like extreme. You know, it was very extreme. But the thing about it is that people don't pay attention to. And part of that Genesis is it says that even after the flood, those giants were still there.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what he was hitting on. He was hitting on that they survived the flood and went on to do, you know, whatever he was talking about they were doing, but he was tying it in with CERN. And that's what I was saying about believing that these spirits, you know, spirits, they need a body to enter into. So I believe I'm big on conspiracies. So I do believe that these entities are here, but I don't believe it's in the form that the movies and these people present
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I think they got us looking for one thing when it's gonna come in the form of things
Something.
that look like me and you.
Yes.
Of
Perfect.
course.
Perfect. Gonna look
You
perfect.
got them walking around looking like me and you right now. You gotta pay attention.
Mhm.
Because
Dang
you
it,
know.
everybody that's walking human ain't human.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
And they're right in front of our faces already. We talk and walk and eat with them every day. We don't know that they are foreign. They're
Right.
alien. And they know what they are. They know who we are, but we don't know who they
Mhm.
are.
Right.
And they're listening to- they can read our thoughts and everything. It's really weird, you know. And it even goes to the line where they can select who they want to breed with if we're compatible. And
Mhm.
some of us are born with certain type of kids with abilities and paths, and like, wait a minute, where'd this come from? You know, certain markings in the bodies and everything. But yeah, and also along with the aliens, that most aliens that we talk about today didn't come. Only ones that came from space were the Anunnakis and the Draconians. The Draconians, the
I
lizard
don't
people.
necessarily say that because
Well, let me
listen,
finish. Let me finish. But
okay.
the other aliens are from the inner earth, like the Nordics. The there's another race of alien beings. They're the tall white with the blue eyes and white blonde hair. They live in the inner. They're the ones that kidnapped Admiral Byrd when he was flying over the Antarctic, and he snatched his plane out of the sky, took him in, told him to tell us. This is when Hoover was in president. Told him to tell us stop dropping bombs because we had dropped it. We dropped Hiroshima, and we also dropped Fat Boy at that time. Okay, which rang the earth 3 times. When Fat Boy was dropped, the earth rang 3 times like a bell. When they released Admiral back to society and everything, he came back and told the people what he was. He got murdered. Oh, I'm sorry, he died. And then his son took his personal book, was going to publish it. He also died. He also died. So there are different types of aliens. When I say aliens, a lot of times you talk about the aliens of the intergalactic space, and then a lot of times the aliens that are already here. They were already here. The Anunnaki even said that there were beings here called the Igigis. There's a race of humans called the Igigis. They were already here. This when they came here, they tried to get the Igigis to mine the earth, but the Igigis raised up against them, and that's when they decided to create a slave race, and they call it human. So they're already beings here when they came here, and when the earth was flooded, because I'm also thinking that that the Anunnaki are responsible for the wiping out of the dinosaur with this big meteor. It hit the earth, wiped them all out, so they can come here. Because dinosaurs would have been on the top of the food chain. They've been the top predators of the planet. Because can you imagine walking in the front door seeing a T-Rex?
I mean, but you gotta think about it. I mean, these humans were big anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some scribes where there's some right there in Nevada on the side of the caves where humans roamed with dinosaurs. There was paintings and carvings on the cave wall of humans walk with plesiosaurs, the vegetated ones with the really long necks, eating plants off trees. They walk with them. And I questioned that when I saw.
Well, according to some things that we have researched, they say we just survived what 5 extinctions, working on the 6th one.
Yeah.
So we've been around. We know the history. Is just why aren't we privy to it? Why do they keep us with this much information to be known?
Control. One word. Control.
Right.
They want
But
control. They want
why?
vision. They want the vision and control. Can you imagine what would happen if 7.9 billion people come together as one and think as one?
Powerful.
Imagine what will
Powerful.
happen. Imagine, can you even begin to imagine if 7.9 billion people get together and we just say we love it and heartfelt that? Can you imagine
We did
how
that,
how,
and they
can you-
didn't like that.
Yeah, no, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. That's what this is about. Keeping us divided, keeping us separated. Anything they can throw at us to keep us separated, that's what they want.
But that's what makes no sense to me. Like, think about it. We were what God wanted us to be, together, right? Working together and communing together, loving each other. What was missing? The fact that we weren't in need of God. Like, what was missing that made it be like, oh, okay, no, we just gonna make the language confused so that they can be separated. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's something in history that is not told to us. Because, like I said, in our DNA, we know we exist because something outside of us exists. Whether we believe in God, call it God or whatever. Because let's be honest, we as humans named it God. Period.
Yeah, we
But
named
so
it.
whatever but we do know that we
Yeah,
exist because something
yeah,
outside of us exists. So
yeah,
if we knew that, and that one deity felt like, okay, love is the most powerful thing that makes us, that is the highest energy that we can absolutely all together as
yeah,
one make it like we are absolutely of what God is all
yeah.
together. What would make them be like, oh no, we just gonna separate we just gonna cause this whole confusion? Like,
It's the balance of the universe, the yin and the yang. You know, the left and the right, the up and down. You got the good, you got the evil. It's a bonding contract. One cannot exist without the other. You
Can
know,
I chime in real quick? I'm sorry. So
please
yeah,
come on, throw that.
I agree exactly with what you're saying. And what I was gonna also add in is there's also truths and there's also lies. And I
Yes,
believe that all of this stuff is not happening for no reason. Like you're saying, Policia, as well. Like, it's some stuff going on out here that they don't want us to know. What is that? You know what I'm
right.
saying? There is a truth out here that
it's
they're
coming.
fighting
That's
against.
the thing. It is coming, and it's getting
We know
closer
that
to
it's
us.
close.
And they are trying to give us more and more distractions, famine, war, diseases. That truth is absolutely coming, and they are giving us too many distractions. Oh, but the Bible said this and that and this and that. Okay, yeah, that's what the Bible said. Fine.
Right,
But what
right.
what are you trying to keep from me? Because we'd have been reading this Bible for years. We know that. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Backwards and
Yeah,
forward. We seen this coming. So what is it that you're trying to hide? Because this is a distraction. As long as people say, oh my goodness, the Bible said it's gonna be war, it's gonna be famine, it's gonna be this. That is Jesus is like, okay, what are you hiding behind that? Because like
it's,
I said, we've been knowing this part for years. We didn't read it too many times. Not
Well,
to me.
I believe that they're hiding Jesus from the non-believers, and they're creating all of these distractions so to prevent people from believing. Like I always like to say, I don't believe that the enemy would, the devil, I don't think that he would try to taint a lie. If it's already a lie, then it's good where it's at. But the truth, he's going to make that truth look so distorted, as much as he can.
Right.
How people view
Plain
Christianity
conceit,
and
so-
Christians and the Bible. They can find so many flaws about it. The Bible is a mystery, and it's not a regular book. It's a spiritual book, and it's not even to be read like a regular book. You know how many times I tried to start and finish that Bible, and then the Spirit will tell me, the Holy Spirit will be like, go to Matthew's, go
Right.
to, you know what I mean? Go to Revelations,
Okay. You sound like you're very educated in the Bible. You're very educated. And not, yeah. Some of it. So I'm gonna ask you a question now, and I think consistent know where I'm going at. Okay. So when we talk about Satan, okay, the great all evil, the responsible for everything. My question from me to you is that what crime has Satan committed against man?
Wanting to be higher than God. And that was his crime.
That's him.
No, you didn't. You missed the question. You missed the question.
Yeah,
Okay,
we know he wants to be God. He wants to be higher than God. He wants to take over the throne of God so we can praise him as God. But what crime? What has Satan did to us? What crime? Can we say that 9/11 was caused by Satan? Can we say the sinking of the Titanic or any wars? The wars going on now was caused by Satan.
Well, first, I do believe that Satan can't do anything without God's permission. He's like he's like a puppet on a string.
Very good. Very good. So right. Satan cannot do anything without God's permission. Correct? So would you agree or disagree that all the evil and good in the world is done by one force and we blame Satan for nothing?
I think it's a balance in that area, but I know that the scriptures do say that sin equals death. So I think a lot of things are also birthed from sin, Okay.
So that would be, we can't blame Satan for it. We can blame God for
it. I wouldn't. See, I think it's a balance.
That because we don't want to blame God for bad, right?
We don't want to blame
the Bible does ask, should we accept good from God? And in Job, it says, should we accept only good from God and not bad?
Right.
God do whatever he wants. He's the potter and we're the clay. So who are we as humble humans? We have to humble ourselves and say, Lord, this is your world. And if you decide that you want an asteroid to come down and fall on us right now, who are we to say otherwise? And whatever we create, we have children that have come out of us, and it's our will to say what we want for our children.
Yeah.
And can they question it? Not really. What can they really do?
Yeah, we got to do this more.
Is that a good answer for you, Enlil?
It's a very good, intelligent answer. I love it. Because like I said, I come on here, I like to bring things to the table, and I don't like to walk away from the table with nothing, because that means I failed. Right. I have failed. So when I bring things to the table, I like to walk away with something. So I'm not coming to the table to convince you or something, or to say that I'm 100% right. I want to be wrong. I want somebody to say, you're wrong. This is this. And I'm like, oh, wow, look what I got. I came with this, now I got both these things, I go with it. And I feel like a winner every time, because I came here to spread knowledge and spread love, joy, everything, and also gain it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not the only people that I talk to. I talk to a lot of people. And if I walk away with a conversation with something more, I have something more to take to the next conversation. I mean, kind of the way what Jesus did, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I did want to throw in there, this scripture came to my head. Something about, I don't know the scriptures front and back, because I'm still learning myself. But it's a scripture that basically is insinuating that, a lot of us as humans, we're wise in our own eyes.
Right.
And sometimes it does say in the scriptures as well that God uses the things of lowly to fool the wise. So you have some people who are just so wise and they're so full of knowledge, they're so full of all of these books and studies that they've done that they can't see right here at the bottom what God
Right.
is trying to say. And he
Yep.
said, look to the ants. Was it the ants that he referenced in I could be wrong, but he said to look at was it the bees? It was either the bees or the ants that he had referenced.
Uh-huh.
But basically saying that, he uses things that are so small and people who are too wise, they just can't grasp it.
Can't see it. That's true. I mean, we talk about that a lot. Like we know, like I said, we know that there is something higher than us. That's why and Lil always reference aliens and look at them of the intellectual
Mhm.
beings and looking at us like we are just animals to them. But think about it. We do walk around over top of ants all the time. Well,
Mhm.
we
We
don't
do.
know what their intelligence are when it comes to us and what they think we are. So
Mhm.
that you're
Exactly. And
absolutely right
highly
when it
intelligent
comes to
too.
that.
Ants
Mhm.
are very intelligent.
Right.
Ants are,
But what I'm
bees are
saying
very
is
intelligent. Yeah.
comparing us to them.
Them,
What do
yeah.
they think we are? Just
Mhm.
like we're
Exactly.
trying to figure out who and what God is or who and what aliens are. Look at how that, you know what I'm saying, what they may be to us. And that's the conversation that we need to have.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. This is great. This is awesome. It's great to meet you too and everything. And we
That's
need more.
Oh yeah, I watched y'all lives a couple of times. I think you're usually
Okay.
in the
Okay.
truck. Do you drive trucks?
Yep. I
Yeah.
drive truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that a
Yeah.
couple
That's,
of times. Yeah.
that's me driving truck. We try to do it whereas I'm more home based and stable and everything and stuff. And I don't want to anybody to witness me crashing off a mountain in my truck. You know, that'd be fun and exhilarating at the same time. You know,
So
I'm going out like a hero. You know, like yeah, I'm out here. Peace.
you're so goofy. So we want to thank you for joining us,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Keelan.
thank
thank
you.
you for
Hopefully
having
we will
me.
get more to join conversation and you come again. I'm sorry that we didn't have our special guest, but you made it worthwhile. So thank you
Okay,
for
and I
Good.
coming.
struggled to get on here. I was on the laptop, I was on the phone, I went to the computer, but
But
it
see how God worked. God knew what we
yes,
needed.
yes,
But
So we
then also the
appreciate
government
you
worked
coming.
opposite. You know, they shut us down in a second. So
right,
yeah, we
right. Get to talking too much.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
that
You guys
always
should
happens
get that knock
though.
on the door. You know, like hey, next week you're gonna talk about rainbows and unicorns. Okay.
You're
Right.
so goofy. Thank you for joining us. We're going to kind of close out the show. We
All right.
appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, I'll be looking
Bye.
out for y'all again.
All
Yeah,
right. All
please
right.
do. Thank you.
All right. Good
Take
night,
care, guys.
y'all.
Good
All right.
night.
See ya. All right, Lise.
No, I know. All right, we got to close out the show.
Oh shoot. Hold on. Where you at? I thought we were done. Can you still hear?
You guys, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we will be all technically together next week. Thank you, Miss Akila, for joining us. We appreciate you. This was a nice conversation. Me and Lil want to wish you all well this week. Lots of light and love and much pleasure. If there's anything that you guys want to talk to us about, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And again, that is it. Good night.
All right. Good night. I can log off now. We good?
Goodbye. Goodbye.